I knew as a child that I wanted to be a teacher, and I'm from a family of teachers, from a family of pastors, so I knew I wanted to be in a leadership position. Came to Louisville for undergrad, went to University of Louisville, majored in elementary education, fell in love, and I knew that being a principal would allow me to touch the most lives to make a difference. As an elementary teacher, I started off at Coleridge Taylor Elementary School. I then went to Norton Elementary. From Norton, I taught a couple of years at Jefferson County Traditional Middle School in 7th grade mathematics. I then moved to the district level as a resource teacher, and from that point in 1997, I became the principal of John F. Kennedy. In any other profession, I would see them on the back end of their careers, if you will. Whereas in education, I get to see the children, when they're bright, when they're excited, when they're full of energy and a love for learning, and I like impacting that. I don't know that anything is going to be a success without education. When you look at all other careers, they had to begin in school. So I don't know where we would be if we didn't have it. You mentioned the state of education. I think that that's all in perception and all in seeing that there are those out there that are truly making a difference for children.
Well, actually, as a child, I wanted to be a teacher, so I've pretty much all my life wanted to be a teacher. There were second and third choices, but I've always wanted to be a teacher from the time I was in high school that I can remember. In 1972, when I got out of service, I applied to teach in Jefferson County or in Louisville public school system, and I started off at Shawnee in 1972. I guess my first love is just wanting to make a difference for the kids in the community where I was raised. I had a passion for math. I majored in math in college. So I knew from early on that I wanted to teach math to students, to kids that I thought I could make a difference for in the community where I was raised. So I'm very proud to be the principal at Central High School. I'm very humble. I'm a graduate, 1964 graduate of Central High School. So when I had the opportunity to go back to Central and work as an assistant principal, I was very happy about that. And then when I was selected as principal in 2002, I was very, very humble and very honored to have the opportunity to be the principal at Central High School.
This is actually my second career. My first one was in electrical engineering, and I kind of knew before I finished that I wasn't going to stay in it. And I ended up teaching Vacation Bible School at my church, and that's when it hit me that I wanted to become a teacher, and so I did. It's going to be my first year at Central. I was at Shawnee for 7 years, but I'm very excited about working at a school with all that history. My mother went there. Everybody in her age group from Louisville went there, so I'm very excited to be a part of that. I still get to give back to my community, and I'm excited. I don't see how you're going to be successful without it. I think there's a few people who can become successful opening their own businesses or doing other things besides going to college and getting a degree. But other than that, I don't see anybody being successful without an education at all.
My title is Special Assistant to the Superintendent at Jefferson County Public Schools, and no, that doesn't mean that I get Dr. Hargan's coffee every morning. It does mean, however, that I've been given responsibility for overseeing a good portion of the school district's external affairs. So business partnerships, community relations, volunteer work, fundraising, all of that is routed through offices that I oversee at JCPS. And been at JCPS since April of 2009. The former superintendent reached out, knocked on my door 3 times asking me to come join him, be part of his team, and I told him no twice. And the 3rd time he knocked, we had a 4-hour conversation where we drove around the community and took a look at troubled spots in this community, and we both asked ourselves the question, what would improved education mean for these neighborhoods if residents there had quality education that they could build a life on? And it was after that conversation that I came to the realization that there was a lot more I could do to improve the lives of families and individuals in this community if I partner with JCPS and the resources they have at that institution to drive change in our community. And so for the last 2.5 years, I've been doing that at JCPS, and we've been connecting the school district with the community in ways that we never have before.
My current position with JCPS right now is I'm an assistant principal at Eastern High School. I've been involved with education. I've been in Jefferson County all my life. I was a student here. My parents were teachers here. My brother's a teacher. My wife's a teacher. My sister-in-laws are all teachers. Education has always been an expectation of mine, and it's always been the only option I've ever thought I had as far as making a success of myself. The way it is set up now, if you do not have an education, then there's not much you can do. Time before, you might be able to be successful, you might be able to make a little money, have some revenue, or sustain a family, but the way it is set up now, education is probably the only avenue most of our African American males and females will have. Therefore, it is also very important to make sure that they see black educators in front of them, teaching them, reaching them, and leading them.
I am a guidance counselor. It's been my first year at more traditional schools. It's been my 5th year as a guidance counselor. The state of education is getting better. Our kids are getting more opportunities, access to higher education, and the dream of believing that they can do what they want to do to be successful in life. So as we continue to work hard each and every day to ensure that those dreams are fulfilled, students will be able to believe that as we continue to expose them to those great opportunities.
Now, why did you choose education? I mean, not business, not factory work and anything. Why did you choose education as a career?
I love education because you see the benefits of your work, especially when it comes back to you. For instance, when I worked with the Upward Bound program at the University of Louisville, I had a young lady, Kanisha Lightsey. Well, Kanisha Lightsey was my son's 1st grade teacher this year. That was going on almost 10 years ago. So in working with Kanisha, she went to college, and come turn around, she's his teacher. That was one of the biggest rewards of being an educator, being able to help young people reach their dreams.